So as of today, Monday, August 26, 2024, Finale is dead. For those of you who don't know, Finale is a software notation tool that a lot of writers and arrangers and producers use to produce sheet music for various uses across the industry, whether it be for studio or for TV or for symphonies or for big bands or whatever it is. Finale is the industry leader, and it has been for 3.5 decades. Today, Finale's creator, Greg Dell'Era, released an announcement, and I'll read you just part of it, not all of it. 4 decades is a very long time in the software industry. Technology stacks change, Mac and Windows operating systems evolve, and Finale's millions of lines of code add up. This has made the delivery of incremental value for our customers exponentially harder over time. Today, Finale is no longer the future of the notation industry, a reality after 35 years, and I want to be candid about this. Instead of releasing new versions of Finale that would only offer marginal value to our users, we've made the decision to end its development. Below that, there's one particular thing though that kind of gets at me a little bit. It says, after 1 year beginning August 2025, these changes will go into effect. It will not be possible to authorize Finale on any new devices or reauthorize Finale. That really sucks. It means we basically have like a year to get our stuff together and move over to a competitor. And all of the software that we've bought and upgraded over time can't be put on new machines. I've been a Finale user since the early 2000s. Finale has, for quite a long time, been the industry leader, and that's why I chose to get into it. When I went to college, in both places, it was a widely used software. In fact, I think that it was required when I was at Berkeley. When I was at Berkeley, I had the opportunity to try the biggest competitor at the time, which was Sibelius, which, to be honest with you, was not really a terrible program, but I didn't find that it worked well with my workflow, but honestly, probably because I was using Finale for so long at that point that I knew it in and out, and I could produce things much faster in Finale than I could in anything else. As a working musician, arranging and producing is a very large part of my workload, and Finale is probably one of my biggest tools in that. Today's announcement basically means diving into a new piece of software and trying to learn it inside and out very quickly, which doesn't bother me fully because I'm a very techie person and I like that, but my standing workload now will be a little bit slower, and I think that's hitting even a little bit harder today, considering you can probably see how crazy my room is at the moment because this room is under construction for the last 2 weeks. They've been treating the brick walls in here, so I haven't been able to work on my break for Brit Floyd either. I have to push all of my work to December. So pushing work to December and learning a new software to get it done. I'm not super happy about that today. Now, with all of that being said, and for me being a very long-time Finale user, Finale has always had 2 issues in my mind. They've always had a lot of bugs in their software code, and I always felt that they were an arrogant company in the industry. Finale has always been known for being buggy software. As long as I can remember, every single person that I knew that used Finale thought that it was buggy software. It accomplished all the things that it said that it would, but you quite often had to work a little bit around that code to figure out how to best use Finale and get around some of the stupid things. An example of this that's happened to me a million times is writing triplet figures into a line of music and then leaving the rest of the measure open for Finale to write rests into, but it reads the triplets wrong and instead places a very stupid amount of rests in the rest of the measure. Anyway, there were a million things like this in this software, but everybody that was using it knew that it was like that. In fact, I used to have a guy on speed dial on my phone that would help me kind of work around these things. I think for me, though, the bigger problem in this was that Finale always knew that they were the biggest in the industry, and they were a little too comfortable at the top where they were. They never seemed to put in the effort to find the coding talent to continually make the best product in the industry. And when new competitors that came to the market that really ended up taking over a large portion of their space, they didn't make any effort to make a better product either. They didn't make an effort to advertise better. They didn't make an effort to make a visually better looking product either. Like, they always looked like they were kind of antique in the industry. This happened a couple times that I can think of. One, when Avid, I think, owned Sibelius and started pushing it really hard in the industry. And the second time was, I believe, in 2016 when Dorico, which is owned by Steinberg, came to the market. Both times, Finale lost a lot of users. Additionally, I can always remember going to the NAMM show, which I've done many times, and quite often I would go visit the booths of a place like Make Music, who owns Finale, just to kind of see what they had going on, see what the new product updates were, you know, maybe have a conversation with somebody who was working there. And they were always like very shy, timid people who never seemed to have answers and never wanted to have answers. In 2010, when the iPad came out, I saw this as a tool that could be used really well in the future for companies like notation software, and especially at the point where the Apple Pencil came out. It only makes sense to be able to write music this way, drawing in the notes, maybe doing things faster than you could do with a mouse and a keyboard and all of the key commands that we had to learn. Every single time that I went to the booth and asked about software development for the iPad for Finale, they always told me, we have no future plans to build software for the iPad. This seems really stupid to me. I mean, they had a lot of opportunities not only to write an app for the iPad so that you could potentially, you know, draw in the notes, like I said, yourself, or even simply making some of the tools inside Finale better utilized on a touchscreen device that might have linked with a computer. So today is the day that Finale is dead. Following the announcement, they seem like they've aligned themselves with a competitor, Dorico, and they've offered a pretty steep discount to cross-grade from Finale to Dorico's highest end software, which I'm going to have to purchase today. I hope in the process of this that Dorico's great and aligns with my workflow really well, but I'm going to have to spend a lot of time converting all of my files so that they can be used in Dorico. We're talking hundreds, but probably thousands of files at this point.